Hey boys and girls, I'm the reading teacher. Thanks again for joining me today. I picked a book today that earned a lot of awards. In 2016, this book won the Newbery Award. The Newbery Award is given to the best picture book in American literature for that year. It also was an honoree for the Caldecott Award, and it was an honor award winner for the Coretta Scott King Illustrator Award, which is so exciting, and you're gonna see why. These illustrations are beautiful. The pictures are by Christian Robinson, and the words are by Matt de la Peña. He's the author of this story, Last Stop on Market Street. And what I want you to do is think about this little boy during the story, and I want you to think about how he changes. How does he change as a character? How does his mindset change? What are some of the changes that you see in him? And the changes have a lot to do with his grandmother. And it takes a short bus ride for us to see some of these changes in him. I also want to know if you see yourself in this little boy. Do you see anything you can connect with to this little boy? Let's start. Last Stop on Market Street. Matt de la Peña. Last Stop on Market Street. Now you don't see any words besides the dedication on this page, but there's still a lot to look at, a lot to think about too. We know that this story is probably going to be set in the city, not the country, not the forest, not the ocean or the desert, but look at this city. Look at all that's happening in this city. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus and all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. Do you think his grandma was talking about the trunk? From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. So far, CJ's not having a great day, right? It's raining. He doesn't like the rain. He doesn't want to wait for the bus. He wishes he had a car. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. So he says, "How come we always gotta go here after church?" Where do you think they're going? Somewhere where he doesn't really want to go, right? At least not today. He's found a lot of things to complain about. I wonder if you can predict where they're going. climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses too, the man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Oh, I love that line. Boy, what do you know about seeing? Some people watch the world with their ears or their senses, right? Some people can see the world without using their eyes. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. What is funny about the blind man closing his eyes? Do you think you can feel music better when you close your eyes? You should try that today. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. And look, there they go. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks, broken down doors, graffiti tagged windows, and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. Wow, that's a great line, isn't it? Why don't you think about that? She says, sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. Think about what that might mean. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps that still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. I bet that's the new hat that the Nana was talking about. He thought his Nana might laugh, her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now come on. And can you tell what they're doing? They're serving food for these people. They came all that way on the bus to serve others. And I love this story because I feel like it's so timely. There's a lot right now that's happening in our world, and we see things that we really want, or we think about things that we want, like spring break trips, or playing with friends, or going to the trampoline park, or going to a restaurant with our families. All those things that right now we have to put on hold. And we might feel like we want to complain or feel sorry for ourselves and not see the beautiful that we have right in front of us. But boys and girls, just like CJ, we can find things that are beautiful in the midst of, I'm sure you have a house that's keeping you warm and dry today. You have a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who's caring for you, who loves you, who is making you meals, and you have books to read. I hope that you were able to see how CJ changed from the beginning to the end and what it was that made him see the world a little differently. He was very concerned about himself at first, wasn't he? He was very self-centered. Why can't we take a car? Why is it raining? It's getting me wet. I want that iPad that the big boys have on the bus. Things like that. And what really changed him? Was it the music? Was it his grandma saying, you just have to look for the beautiful in the dirty? What was it? Was it he was able to serve others and be a light for others during this time? We don't know what exactly it was that changed CJ's mindset. We just know that it changed from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. So I hope you enjoyed this book, and I look forward to reading with you tomorrow.